Hey everybody, this is a live stream that's not going to be long, mainly because last night I was up until 3:30 and it was quite a while. So at this time, I'm going to cut it short because I've got a special guest tomorrow night and I want to be fresh for that as well as fresh for the day. So, uh, Sunday, I saw the Denver Broncos debacle. They were It actually was played Saturday night. I saw it Saturday too, but replayed on Sunday. The Vikings thrashed the Broncos. The Broncos simply did not look ready. 42-26. It was ugly. 28, excuse me. Ugly. And I think the biggest difference between the teams was just simply the Vikings' speed off the ball, kind of like the Ravens. Both very fast teams off the ball. And hey, I have to admit that in his first outing, Kirk Cousins looked like the world beater. The amount of money he was gotten for would imply, right? I mean, who would have thunk it? Kirk Cousins, that dude, really? Yeah, really. Uh, but now everyone's talking about not just how bad the Broncos were on their first outing, kind of like the Falcons were here, but also Paxton Lynch. There's a GoFundMe page to fire Paxton Lynch. I mean, it wasn't so much that Paxton didn't look good from my perspective. It was what Paxton was asked to do. The Broncos quite obviously did not game plan for that contest. It was quite evident. But, you know, I think that I ought to do a separate piece on the importance of game planning, because I'm now behold that it's completely irresponsible for a coach to go into a game, a preseason game, and not game plan for it. Because there is game planning that goes on. For example, two coaches will say, hey, we've got this new quarterback, Lamar Jackson, and we want to see how well he responds to blitzes. So can you dial up some safety blitzes? And so the Bears will say, sure, we'll throw the kitchen sink at him. And that's what happened in the Hall of Fame game. That's game planning, though, okay? So why can't a coach say, all right, I know that I'm going to get blitzes from these guys, so I want to test my audible call system and how well my quarterback has picked it up. So, you know what? I'll install my audible call. I'll say, hey, you know what? You see that key over there, that free safety? He comes up, you change to this play, right? Or you have plays that should be designed with hot reads so that if the safety comes in blitzes, guess what? Pop pass is open, okay? That should be baked into your offensive system by now. And when I say by now, I mean we've had, I would say, 2 generations of advanced passing approaches, arguably, yeah, 3. But even with that, you have coaches who act like they just discovered the passing game. Ooh, what's this thing, right? As opposed to, hey, as the NFL commercial would go, we've been here the whole time, right? Wow. Anyway, the Broncos looked like that team that had just discovered the passing game. And, excuse me, um, they put Paxton Lynch in a situation that was untenable. It was really bad. Something else, too, talking about quarterbacks and learning. I now believe that how a quarterback performs is a reflection of how either well or poorly that quarterback was taught, not just coached, but taught by the coach. What do I mean by that? I mean, and I developed this just listening to John Gruden talk about Latavius Bryant, which I thought was unfair. And what he did was he said, "Hey, he said, you know what? I'm going to go into this situation and I'm going to criticize this man for not picking up my offense. When I heard him do that, my thought was, well, gee, what is it that you're not teaching him? And how are you not teaching him? How are you presenting to him the concept of knowing every player? You just say, hey, look, learn this position, that position, the other position, because some players, when you put it to them that way, they forget. But if you say, okay, you're the flanker. We're going to line you up over here, and you're going to do this. But then another place, the Z is going to be over here. You're the Z, and the Z is going to do that. Now, the Z doing that could be the Z actually as a halfback, running a halfback pattern. Only we say the flanker is there, and we give the flanker a circle pattern, right? So he understands, he being the flanker, he being Bryant, that, look, we're still calling you the flanker, we're just lining you up in a different place. But in his brain, he's not being asked to memorize somebody else's assignment. In his brain, he's still the flanker. You see him? You see the difference? It's in thinking. Too often coaches are allowed to get away with this problem of football coaches of not having the right system or having the right way of teaching, because the media doesn't question them on it, because people in the media who just either don't know football or don't care to know football, or maybe just don't think they're told by their editors not to talk about this sort of thing, or some combination of the three, okay? Whatever the case, the bottom line is that we don't get a critical press when it comes to coaches and what they do like we used to. No. The media has delved into, or if you like, perhaps, maybe I should say, oh, that's not quite fair. I was going to say disintegrated, but I will say, well, evolved isn't the term either. Changed in such a way that it does not pay attention to the tactics of the game. Now, does it reflect the audience? I don't think it reflects the audience. I think it reflects how they might think the audience is. But I happen to believe the audience is a lot smarter than it's given credit for, sometimes. And when it's not, I'll let you know. We have Zinsters here. Zinsters think, right? Yes. Of course. Okay. Absolutely. 3 times, 2 times. You know that, right? All right. So, my thought is this. What is it about the Broncos that's causing them to just basically suck so bad so early? I think it's game playing. I don't think it's talent. I think it's game planning. All right? What say you? I'll talk about the other stuff later, but I want to, even if it boils down to just one person talking to me or me talking to myself, I want to get this matter of the Broncos on the record and out. I want to talk Broncos, AFC West. Are the Broncos even a threat to the Raiders? Should we worry about the Broncos? Is it too early because it's preseason? And if so, what does that mean? Don't just say it. You know, what does the explanation mean, okay? Rob Iman, what does that mean to you? You say that you're projecting Denver to finish in the cellar, but the question is why? And don't give me something that causes me to ask you another question. Make it an absolute answer that just stops everything. Because I saw X and Y and Z. Make it make sense. Don't say because of this coach or because of, I want details. All right? Like for me, my issue with the Broncos is a perceived lack of team speed. I don't believe that they're fast. Okay? Rob Iman, that's exactly what I'm not looking for. You're saying you're not sold on Case Keenum. Don't give me that. Give me data. Don't give me opinion. Give me data. Or, okay, in other words, if I say the Broncos are not fast enough, that's data. Then I have to actually cough up some numbers and say, hey, look, these guys look slow. Well, to me, I don't have it numerically, but anecdotally, the Vikings were faster off the ball than the Broncos. The Broncos were slow off the ball both on offense and defense. Why that is? I don't know. That's how it appeared to me. They appeared to be slow off the ball. If they carry that into the regular season, they're going to get killed. Okay? No, I didn't make a comment about a player. All right? Rob, I mean, you're still doing it in. They don't have a stud receiving corps. What does that mean? Okay? What I'm trying to get us to do is drill down to a more reasoned conversation that we have. And we're not doing that. Like, for example, the common fan makes a comment about a player. My point, like Paxton Lynch, my point is that the game plan that was installed for Paxton Lynch left him without safe passes. Didn't roll him out. It didn't roll him out. It wasn't friendly to him. Now, Easy Raiders says can't be unless a lot of things go extremely wrong for them with their online and quarterback. So basically, I like this. This is the right direction that we're headed in. Are you saying, Easy Raider, you're saying that it can't be the Broncos are a threat to the Raiders unless things... I'm trying to wrap my mind around what you're saying. Are you saying that the Broncos are a threat unless something goes wrong for the Broncos with their offensive line and quarterback? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Is that what you're saying? All right. See, Rob, I mean, you did it again. They don't have a true running back. What does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? Let me take that one out of courtesy to you and think about it from how you may be thinking about it. You're saying that because it's preseason and they have running back by committee, that's a problem. But again, let's take, okay. Corey Brown says the Broncos secondary is the same basically year after year in terms of coverage type. I like this. Teams should have them figured out. I like that, okay? I can live with that. I can live with that. Corey Brown is saying that, hey, look, the Broncos defense is predictable. They have the same coverage type year after year. Interesting. Let's go back and take a look at the statistics from the game. I'm having fun with this because what I'm trying to get people to get away from is this knee-jerk, oh, I don't like him. Forget that. Talk to me about techniques. Yeah, I'm sick of that stuff because look, I can get a 4-year-old to do that. What do you think? Well, he looks like he might be a good player. You know what I mean? Come on. Bring it. Bring it to me. Bring it to me. Bring it to me. And when I say bring it to me, I mean, bring me something that is more substantive. Far more substantive. Substantive than just, I don't like those colors. All right? Now, here's something that I can live with from Rob Iman. He says, rising to the occasion, Broncos allowed the quarterbacks on the defensive side, Broncos defense, allowed the quarterbacks to have 127.1 passer rating. Yes, that is an enormous problem, which I believe that translated into an 80% completion, something like that. In other words, it didn't matter whether it was, it didn't matter whether it was Kirk Cousins or me or you or the water girl. We were still going to complete 80% of our passes. Hey, against the Broncos defense the way they were playing. Not bad. For us, right? I can live with that one, okay? But let's go back and see what stats were on this thing, okay? Excuse me. So we have, okay, here, Minnesota 42, Denver 28. Final, Minnesota. This is the first string. Minnesota started right off the bat, outscoring the Broncos 14-0 in the first quarter, and then they had then Broncos answered with 14 points the second quarter, but the ever reliables came back. When I mean the ever reliables, I mean the team that we call the Minnesota Vikings came back with an additional 10 points. All right, so for passing, the Broncos, I like the Kelly kid. The Kelly kid, you realize he was the last player selected in the draft? But and then for rushing yards, you were talking about the committee of running backs, but get this. Do you know who the leading, look, Freeman had 4 carries for 35 yards. He had a 5, wow, excuse me. He had, get this, a 9.5 yard average, which is pretty good, okay? Kelly had 3 rushes for 12.7 yard average. It's against the Vikings. So you start looking at this, and it starts to look pretty interesting. It really does. You have, I mean, if we scroll down and we look at the overall bunch statistics, we've got 406 total yards for the Vikings, 299 yards for the net for the Broncos, but their average game per offensive play was 5.2 yards, 5.6 for the Vikings. But the difference, the Vikings got off 72 plays versus 57 for the Broncos. They had 110 net yards rushing to the Broncos, 147 for the Vikings. But get this, their average gain per running play was 5.8 yards versus just 4 yards for the Vikings. So if we look at that, what does that tell us? It tells us, first of all, that the Broncos' offense was not on the field long. They would get kicked off the field. Onto the field came the defense. The defense had to basically stand a withering attack of short gains by the Vikings that added up to 406 yards, mainly because they were able to tick off 72 plays versus 57. So the Broncos defense has to basically, I mean, they did a great job stopping the run. Obviously, but if you take a look at this, we've got 3 sacks by them. There were times they were sacked by the Broncos. Broncos only were sacked twice. So there's something to build on here. But you look at this as average game per pass played by the Vikings, 7.4. What does that tell me? Lack of pass rush. Not so much that the secondary didn't do its job, but that the Broncos were not, they weren't stopping them through the air, allowing them to pick up first downs when it mattered. So what do you zero in on? We zero in on maybe more bump and run coverage, something like that. But the whole point is, and we start looking at this, the situation for the Broncos, from a statistical standpoint, doesn't look so dire, all right? And something else, too, when you start looking at the numbers, you see how you can begin to find out where to fix things, where the problems are. That's all I'm talking about. Rob Iman says, Matt Lacoste led with 40 receiving yards. Corey Brown says, last time Tom Cable was on Raiders staff, we lit up Denver with one of those games, 59-14. We sure did. And now here's my question. Everyone's happy about the Raiders. I'm happy that Gruden picked up my schemes and all that jazz. But does this mean the Raiders have the potential to run the table? We're talking about one game. I'm going to pick out a weakness. All right? Oh, the A's won tonight. Yeah, they were ahead of the Mariners 7-1 in the 8th, as I recall. Yay, go A's. Now, can the Raiders run the table? I'm the first person to put that out there. I'll say this. There was one weakness I saw, the secondary. I am not sold that this secondary is that secondary. They're not. The saving grace of the Raiders will be its line. Okay? I don't see the secondary as the one that's, making it happen. The Buccaneers secondary, I think, is frightening. Because they went out and they got ballers, man. I'm talking about Tampa Bay. Those guys are ballers. I'm sorry. You do not want to be a receiver this year against the Bucs. They will take your head off. They got guys who will do that, all right? All right? They got guys who will take your head off. I'm talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now. That's what I'm talking about. Did anyone manage to see their game against the Dolphins? Did you see how they were flying to the ball? I'm talking about the secondary for the Bucs. Don't sleep on the Buccaneers, man. The Buccaneers have the kind of secondary the Raiders should have, but they don't. Joseph Benson said, heard Vita Vea tweak something recently. Hope he'll be ready to go for the season opener. Hey, thanks for the tip, because I wondered what happened to him, but Joseph Bensman, but I didn't check on that. So let me do a quick search and find out what's happening there with respect to the Buccaneers star first round pick. And it says, let's see here, news, Vita Vea. He suffered a strained calf, but it says he will not miss games. That was as of July 31st. And they said the Bucs are saying they're thankful that Vea's injury wasn't more serious. That was as of August 1st. So let's see here. Then on August 6th, Cutler gave an update on the Vita Vea injury. And he said that the head coach of the Bucs commented that let's see here. Wait a second here. Okay. Carter said he could not provide a timetable for Vea's return, but he applauded the rookie's rehab process. He was not expected to play against the Dolphins. Okay, so there you go. He was not expected to play. I'll bet you that, let's see where he's at on the depth chart for the Bucs. I'll bet you he makes the season opener. How much you want to bet about that, okay? Let's see here. By the way, there's storm team forecast. Scattered storms developing on Tuesday. Rain chance is 40%. That's if you're in Tampa. Now, I am deliberately pushing back some information so that I can stave you. All right. So here, okay, there is the Buccaneers. All right. The depth chart for the Buccaneers includes, let's see here. They don't have this one. I can really zero in on it. But quarterback, in case you're wondering, for the Buccaneers, it's in this little fine print. Well, okay, they have on offense, guess who's the starter for the Bucs? Jameis Winston. Right, that's right. Jameis Winston's the starter. Ryan Fitzpatrick and then Ryan Griffin. Bing, bing, bing. So for all the hullabaloo about the suspension, for all the stuff about Ryan Fitzpatrick, Jameis Winston is not penciled in as the backup. He is the starter. He has not been demoted. Note that, okay? Now, as far as defense, you've got Vita Vea penciled in as backup tackle. So there you go. He's not penciled in as the starter. He's penciled in as the backup tackle. All right, now, okay, now moving forward back to my point. In you saying, why are you talking about the Bucs and not the Raiders? If you just jumped in, and welcome to Zenny62, my point was that the Buccaneers spent the last 2 years revamping their defensive secondary, and as far as I'm concerned, they've arrived. They fly to the ball like nobody's business, and they don't need a great pass rush to do the job. Well, they're going to get one. Binsman says, poor Chargers lost a bit of talent from their secondary, losing Jason Verrett for the year. Still very talented defense, yes. Pride and Poise says, I'm looking forward to seeing how Deshaun Watson does in his second year. Purpose says, Deshaun Watson, sorry about that, I don't quite understand. Rob Iman says, Niners looked awful on Thursday. They did? They won. What are you talking about? Rob, come on, man. Bring it. What's wrong with you, man? They beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys won the game. Corey Brown says, Raiders won't run the table. No game day chemistry yet. Unsure of their new conditioning program. Interesting. Good. Rob Iman was talking about the Niners' first defense. Yeah, they did start off, okay. Great save, Rob Iman. The Niners start off shaky. I completely agree with you. And they gutted out a win against the Cowboys while still evaluating the players. I get that one. I think you're absolutely right. Now, as far as the lawsuit, Tom, since you asked, I was told that the matter of the lawsuit and the vote will come up in September. And so, and I'm not going to put the person's name out there who said that to me, you know, but and I'm not going to get into all that, you know, da 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 da. That's the news. Now, you would say, what's taking so long and why? And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know. Rob Iman predicts that Jimmy Ward will not make the 53-man roster. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I have to make a call. I think I'll make that call tomorrow to find out what the update is. I mean, look. There is one thing I can tell you, one reason for this. As I talk to you right now, the Oakland City Council's on recess. And so they're not going to reconvene until late September. In fact, yeah, late September. Let me see, Oakland City Council. Oakland, just want to see something here. Oakland City Council calendar. Calendar. Okay, City of Oakland calendar. Agenda management. Let's see here. Boom. Council meetings. All right, council meetings. 2018. All right, yeah. Offered the mayor, the Office of the Mayor's annual recess agenda. And this is just a matter of decisions that the mayor took during her recess period. That's it. So, okay, but other than that, City Council, we're looking at, let's see here. Nothing, basically. See if there's another one. This is the recess. Meeting schedule, City Council, agenda management. Please contact the self-city clerk for meeting times and location. Click on that. Contact us, office hours. They should have, you know what, I'm gonna tell the city clerk about this. The city clerk should have a date right in your face that tells you when the Oakland City Council is going to reconvene, because it doesn't do that here, all right? In terms of its calendar, it doesn't do that, and that's a disservice to many, because people want to know, right? Say this month, next month. So if I click on next month is September. It says no records are found. So it doesn't tell us, again, it doesn't tell us when things are going to start again. So bad stuff there. Let me try something else here. Oakland City Council calendar. Boom. Nope, doesn't do that. City Council meetings and speaker's card, all that stuff. Speaker's card. Yeah, doesn't. Okay, Labor Day holiday. City offices closed. Our upcoming events. Let's try that one. It's terrible that I have to sort of just, you know, dig around here, isn't it? But that's what I have to do. It's like events, rent board, public safety, rent board, police commission, August 13th, equity indicators, Can Do North Oakland Senior, after aerobics, I just got an idea. Events happening around the city. Performance Muscle Therapy Clinic. First Monday with legal assistance. Digital camera, August 20th, Spectrum. This is horrible, this is bad stuff. Okay. And all this, I'm just gonna type City Council. Like that. You know, it's amazing. Oh, hey, Cowboy Rush, we're talking about the Raiders lawsuit issue. What I'm trying to do is give a window as to when the City Council is expected to reconvene. And generally it's we used to have it where I could tell you right now when the first city council meeting is going to be of the new year, the new calendar year for the council, because we just closed. But this doesn't let me do that, okay? It doesn't let me do that. And so I wanted to be more specific than late September, right? I wanted to give you a specific time. So I'm going to take this up with the good city clerk, because she's always striving to do better of what's going on with the lawsuit, and the council reconvenes. All right, that's a month from now. So it's taking that by will not be, the Raiders Stadium won't be ready in 2020. So there you go. That's just not happening. And the more I talk to people, the more there's that collective belief. There are a lot of problems. And most notably, the current problem over there is heat. It's so hot that there are days, you know, they're not working at night. You have to avoid heat strokes. You got to slow it down. And that really just slows down everything, okay? So it's one thing to say, oh, by the way, they are not, you know, they're not going to, oh, by the way, hey, malcontent, unknown Raider guy is actually Scott, what's his name? Anyway, Corey Brown says, I say file the doggone lawsuit. Even if they sign a lease, they're still leaving and may break the lease to leave early. Cowboy Rush says, haven't heard anything regarding a lease for the Raiders to play in Oakland in 2019 and 2020. Well, that's Cowboy Wrestler. Whoa. Cowboy Wrestler, whose real name I actually don't know. You keep bringing this sort of thing up, even though I keep telling you the answer. So I'm going to force you to remember what I said to you last time so that we don't go through this again. Now, I'm going to move you aside, and I'm going to say, Easy Raider says, I'm in LA, but it would be nice for Raider fans in Oakland. Hey, John Marks, to stay connected to the Raiders in Napa Valley for training camp. For that reason, Zenny is talking about with the heat. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about the Vegas heat, okay? To build a stadium in that heat is criminal. You're talking about 103 degree heat during the day. I mean, come on, right? So, all right. And that's a lot. And you don't have, excuse me, you don't have the full complement of crew to work on that thing. So, all right. So, all right. Well, John Mark says, without Zenny, there is no Zenny 62. Thanks. OTC, how you doing? Oh, by the way, unknown Raider guy says the practice field they're building is a half a mile away from him. Yeah, it sounds like Scott. At any rate, Easy Raider says, would have been nice for the Raiders to stay in Napa Valley after they moved to Vegas for training camp. Yeah, it would have. They could have. But see, part of that was political. The training camp being in, originally, you know, Reno was always on the table because you wanted to make sure that the North, in order to get the votes for the legislature, you had to give something to the North people, training camp, because the South people were getting, you know, the stadium and the Raiders, right? So there you go. King Jose, my God. King Jose, who plays basketball from Michigan, whose real name we don't know, so we can't cheer him on, has joined us, who also thinks that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. Whatever. Glad to have you here, my friend. King Jose. King says, what? King Jose says, if Oakland sues, the team can still leave or injunctions can be filed. Well, no, they can still stay. Hey, look. News flash to all of you, okay? The Raiders have sued us, and we've sued the Raiders, and the Raiders have still played in the Coliseum. So all this bullshit about we're not going to sign a lease if you sue us, is just that. I'm calling it right now. That's bluster. Because the Raiders of the past didn't do that. The Raiders of the past were really badass. They would say, you know what? Al would say, I'm suing you, but I'm still playing in this damn stadium. You have to kick my ass out. That was Al Davis. Okay, he wasn't wuss about it. The current view is wuss. I'm sorry, Mark Burdane, it's wuss. It's like, we're not gonna, you sue us, you sue us, we're gonna leave. Well, why? It only hurt yourself, okay? So do what the old man would do. Stick around and fight it out in the Coliseum. It's your territory, it's your turf, act like it. That's what I'm saying. I'm calling y'all out. I'm talking to y'all about being real Raiders. Real Raiders will do that, okay? If you're a real Raider, you'll stay in the Coliseum. You'll fight a lawsuit. You'll fight to win. And you'll conquer the Coliseum, and then you'll move to Vegas. And you'll be king in 2 homes. Why not? Okay? That's the way you do it. That's the way real Raiders do it. If you're a real Raider, you do that. It's like, I'm going to leave. Yeah, right. That'll be a first. You know what? That'll be a first in Raider history. For the Raiders just sort of like, I'm taking off because they're suing us. Really? Seriously? Oh, really? Come on, man. Give me a break. Jeez Louise. I mean, it's ridiculous stuff, man. Savage Larry, how you doing? Welcome to Zenny62. Cowboy Wrestler. And Savage Larry says, Peyton Manning, low-key mentoring David Carr. You mean Derek Carr. Okay. Anyway, now. All right. Malcontents, well said, Z, stand up and fight, both the city and the team. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. You know, all this stuff about, we're leaving. Where? We're leaving. Where? I mean, you're going to go and you're going to pay more rent someplace else because Oakland is suing you. I'm sorry. The Raiders of old don't do that. The Oakland Raiders don't do that. Hey, maybe this is a signal you guys are not the Oakland Raiders. Maybe it's a signal you are the Las Vegas Raiders and you're afraid. Afraid of the truth, you know. Afraid of, afraid of falling, just as this, afraid of negative press, afraid of Zenny. You're afraid. You're afraid, all right? Stop being afraid. The real Oakland Raiders, the Oakland Raiders were afraid of nothing. Nothing, okay? So if you're just and you're right, you'll stay in the Coliseum, you'll take that deal, and if the lawsuit comes down, you'll deal with that too. And heck, who knows? You could win. I doubt it. You could win, though. Just saying. Hey, Oakland Raiders, act like you got some Oakland blood in you. And don't act like you're headed to Vegas already. Be tough. Because right now, y'all are running. Trying to, you know, not deal with the truth about things. Don't want people to know certain things. You're afraid of, you know, being in Oakland if you get sued. You're afraid. Everything is fear. The Raiders were not known for being afraid. You all act like you're afraid. Stop being afraid. Afraid of me. Here comes Zenny. I don't want to talk to you. Fear. Fear. Stop being afraid. My gosh. Man. As Malcontent put it, afraid of bankruptcy. Okay? Corey Brown says, I think that a loss pending and a move of Vegas in the balance would cost too much to go somewhere temporarily. Of course it would. Absolutely ridiculous, Corey. You know? Hey, Sean, how you doing, man? Welcome. OTC says Bo Jackson likes them as the LA Raiders, but OTC, are you Bo Jackson? Savage Larry says Raiders are going to have a massive market in Vegas plus a Super Bowl caliber stadium. Massive market comprised of what? Spell that out for me. I mean, when you say massive market, what do you mean, given that it's the 40th largest media market in the country? Just curious there. Hey, welcome to Zenny62, everybody. Cowboy Wrestler says, simple. No, Dean Woolley. Dean Woolley says, unknown Raider, if Davis is sued, oh boy, these things are coming hot and red heavy. He says, If Davis is sued, damages will be in the billions. He will settle in court. Cowboy Wrestler says simple. After the LA vote in 2016, Mark should have negotiated a 5-year lease to stay in Oakland, in my humble opinion. I think your humble opinion is quite logical. Savage Larry says Oakland plus Los Angeles plus Vegas. That does not answer my question. When I say define the market, I mean define the demographic of person, how much money is out there. You can't just say split, because if you say Oakland plus Los Angeles plus Las Vegas, my response to you is simply Rams, Chargers, 49ers, Lakers, Warriors, Kings, other competing sports events, the weather, cost of living, and everything else. So define to me what the frickin' market looks like, because I'm not seeing it. How do you justify that in some place that's 40th largest? Answer that question, because if you don't, I'm going to try to answer it for you. But my answer to your question is going to be different, and it's going to give you what I think the Raiders should be doing that they're not doing, because I don't think they're handling their business correctly. Okay? And I'm just arrogant enough guy to say that. Boom. All right? Or is it say boom, okay? Or is it boom? Or is it boom? Or is it boom? I don't know. Whatever it is, whatever boom it is, I got your boom. My point is this. Moving along. Savage Larry says, Raider fans are loyal in more ways than... Okay, yeah, well, you know what? Dollar signs can test loyalty. Dean Willie says, unknown Raider guy, I don't get why you support move to Vegas. Because he's Scott Winter. He moved there because he wanted to be part of the Raider mystique, because, you know, Mark Davis blessed what he wrote and all this stuff, and he thinks he's in as a Raider and all this stuff, and yada, 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 yada. Okay? There. So my point is, okay, I think he's Scott, but the whole point is that's the reason. And it's like, or he may be somebody else, but the whole point is he's got these rose-colored glasses on, all right? And he chimes in to show us his rose-colored glasses and say, woo, all right, fine, whatever. That's his right. The reality is that the thing ain't happening in 2020. It just ain't, okay? Dean Willie says, Raider mystique only works in Oakland, not Vegas. Savage Larry says, NFL wants football in Vegas. Raiders... Savage Larry, look, you're driving me nuts with these statements. Just show the world what I already know about you. You have the ability to think in detail. Express it, not in simple sentences. Tell us what the market looks like. Don't write stuff like that. That's not provable, okay? Now, Cowboy Wrestler says, Scott Baio? That's hilarious. Dean Willie says, Savage Larry put expansion in Vegas. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me help you guys out here. If it were me left to give a presentation in an NFL owner's meeting of why I felt Vegas was, I hate to use this word, but I use it, a viable market, I would say this. Because the level of foreign direct investment in Las Vegas is, particularly with respect to real estate, so high and getting higher that we can go after the foreign market to sell luxury boxes and sponsorships. That would be my presentation. I would say that we would go after a naming rights agreement and a logo in such a way that any plane that takes off from Las Vegas would see our logo, would see that company logo presented and emblazoned in the stadium in some kind of, on the stadium in some kind of way. That's prime real estate right there. In addition to the interstate itself, we would make our stadium as iconic a landmark as the MGM Lion is and has been to Vegas for so many decades. I would take advantage, and see, this is where I differ from you. Las Vegas is an indelible part of American culture. It's known by everybody. If you don't tap into that, you can't look at Vegas in conventional ways, because if you do, you know what you'll find? It looks really bad. From a conventional standpoint, Las Vegas looks awful. Las Vegas is an unconventional city. And so you have to look at its market in a way that addresses what it truly is. It is a world city that, whose stature is based on the attention it draws. You have to draw from that. So you have people, and we want to know what the true Vegas market looks like. Look at the flight patterns of people coming in. Look at the countries where people are coming from. Canada, China. That's your market. It's less so around the United States, in particular because of the hotel revenues, the hotel costs, and how that's impacting travel. And specifically, that resort fee, which is it's choking off people's desire to get there. Okay? I'm telling you, that's how you have to sell Vegas. Because again, if you don't look at it like that, if you don't approach it that way, you're going to get screwed real quick. And that's what the Raiders are looking at. You know, some people, what I get tired of, are people who say, oh, they have a license to print money. You know what? They got a license to lose a lot of money, too. I mean, a ton. Or I'll get your comments. Savage Larry says, Oakland's population is stagnant. That's got nothing to do with it. Savage Larry, you don't know what you're talking about, all right? Savage, I thought you were better than that. Oakland is at the center of the San Francisco Bay Area. If you've ever lived in the Bay Area, even for a little bit, I live there now, you know damn well that Oakland and San Francisco are really one big town. And that Oakland is at the geographic center of the Bay Area. And the Bay Area is 3 times larger than Las Vegas. So whatever hope I had for you, you just killed that one, babe. All right. Cowboy Russell says, Las Vegas is a transient city like LA, so the Raiders better win or else they're going to end up like they did in '94. Dean Willie says, Vegas is a great city but a lousy market. Yeah, well, see, its market is international. Its market is a travel market, okay? Its market is transient, and it's very iffy. Cowboy Russell said something I missed, I'll repeat. He says, Z, I came to realize over the weekend that the Chargers will be the only AFC team on the West Coast once the Raiders move to Vegas. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep. And Savage Larry says, Raider fans are loyal, and he says, what do you think they should do then? And I think I answered that question, Savage Larry. Okay. And let's see here. Dean wants expansion team in there. Eric Young openly hopes the Vegas venture crashes and burns. Dean Willie says, Unknown Raider, who cares what you think? Unknown Raider, we care what you think. Or at least I do. Unknown Raider happened to say, Dean Willie, if you hate them so much, become a Flyers fan. He was kidding, laugh out loud. To which Dean was not having it. Okay. Peace, dudes. Savage Larry says, Vegas has 2,000, 100 times 1,000 more. What? Savage Larry, look, I don't mean to be insulting, but that comment you wrote just it intellectually hurt. Okay? You don't evaluate cities like that. You evaluate metropolitan statistical areas. You evaluate, in Oakland's case, the area that's an hour around it. Let me put it this way from NFL parlance. The NFL, if you're planning for a Super Bowl, as I've done, wants you to find 17,500 top quality hotel rooms, 22,500 top quality hotel rooms within 1 hour drive of the stadium. 1 hour. 1 hour. So for Oakland, that's from Oakland past Napa, okay? And then you draw a circumference. That's your area. That's way beyond Oakland itself. And that's going to apply to Vegas, too. I'm not saying, no, I'm not saying Vegas. Vegas has 10 hotels. I'm talking about how the NFL evaluates a metropolitan area and with respect to where the stadium is located in the city. So that's how you have to look at it as well. All right? So, otherwise you're going to sound like you don't know what you're talking about. So, okay. So, Malcontent says the costly housing market in California is also eroding visitorship to Vegas completely. That's absolutely true. And, hey, Malcontent, that's a great point. Let's add the housing market cost problem on top of the resort fee problem in Las Vegas on top of the parking cost problem in Las Vegas, okay? On top of, okay, so those three costs, those three issues, those are meat and potato issues. How much does it cost me when I visit Vegas? Do I have enough money if I'm paying rent or mortgage to visit Vegas? Those things, right? So, all right. It's 1:51. I'm going to stop a little after 2 o'clock because I'm not going until 3. So there we go. All right. So it's an I think someone said here, Eric Young, Las Vegas was built by the mob. That's why it's an unconventional city. Yeah, by every right, it has no business being there, but it's there. Pride and Purpose says, what about the lower visitor statistics as well? Right, as overseas gambling spots. Yeah, that's a great point. That's been a terrible problem. In fact, let me go and visit real quick the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Bureau. It's time for me to do, I'm not going to do it right now, of course, an update of, here, Visitors Authority. It's time for me to do an update on the visitor problem in Las Vegas. But let's see what their statistics say. Visitor stats. Las Vegas statistics for June 2018 year-to-date summary. Let's see what that looks like first. I'm waiting for the PDF file to open. As I do, I say welcome to Zenny62 on a Monday night. Now, historical summary, is this opening? Show all. Waiting for things to open is a bit of a chore. There we go. Download year-to-date summary. Show in Finder. Show means I'm waiting for this thing to open, okay? I believe it is now opening. Come on. This is driving me semi-crazy. Cancel. Oh boy. Hey, did you hear the news about Marilyn Monroe, by the way? Welcome to Zenny62. Just asking. If you didn't hear the news, there was a nude photo that was found from the movie The Misfits, which would be a first if it was ever shown. The guy says he's been stashing it away from public eye for decades because he knew it was important to American culture. Well, my words, not his. But I digress. I'm buying time until this stupid document decides it's going to open. I'm getting the spinning wheel of death, the Macintosh spinning wheel of death, which is stop spinning, yay, and the document is slow to open, and there's a spinning wheel of death again. If that strangely sounds like the noise that used to be made before the Mark V start. Oh, here we go. Got it. Okay. Calendar year 2008. June visitor data. We had, oh boy. We had a decline. May, this is a decline, okay? First of all, I'm going to read you off where we all were. This is not even, because I know that with respect to January, February, March, April, January, February, March, those numbers for visitor statistics were less than 2017. January was at 3.393 million. February was a drop to 3.130 million. March was an increase to 3.749 million. April was a decrease to 3.548 million. May was a slight increase to 3.630 million. And June was a decline to 3.6565 million. So basically, this is flatlined, all right? Now, that's for 2008 for Las Vegas, and in terms of tourism indicators. Now, if we go back and we look at their executive summary. The executive summary gives us the comparison of year to year, right? That one was just for this year, 2018. So now the executive summary is opening up. I don't get the spinning wheel of death, but I do get a gray screen. I'm waiting on you to open. Here it is. It's opening up. And bam. Okay. Visitor volume for June was a decline from year to year of 1.1% versus June of 2017. And what that means, folks, is this. In the big picture, that for 11 of the last 12 months, you heard, again, I'm repeating this, for 11 of the last 12 months, or let me put it another way, for every month of the past year, save for one, there's been a visitor decrease in Las Vegas. This problem has been an entire year, and it shows no signs of abating. You hear what I'm saying? It shows no signs of abating. I'll repeat, it shows no signs of abating. Encapsulated within this decline year to year is the October shooting, which everyone then said, oh, the problem is after that. No, the problem happened before October. And it simply continued, okay, for Las Vegas, all right? So there are signs, like for example, they have this PDF. I'm trying to figure out how oh, I've got it, okay. So then I can bring you in and show you what I'm looking at here. You get a better idea of what I'm talking about, all right? This is what I'm talking about right here, okay? Look, this graph encapsulated what I'm talking about. It compares, this blue is 2017, right? This year, 2018 is here. You see how 2018 has been, it was lower, slightly above, okay, then lower, slightly above, and then lower again here, all right? And then this was last year, and there was an uptick and it went down here, okay? So that's what you're looking at. And then in terms of visitor volume, that's here. So visitor volume, you have 2018 less than 2017. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 months where visitor volume was less the previous year, all right? Only in May was there a greater visitor volume for 2018 than 17, and then we're back to square one. You see the problem, okay? So, you know, now what does that impact? It impacts the Raiders bond issue. Because remember, this was supposed to increase. This is not increasing. It's not increasing. And there's no sign that's going to get any better. Everyone, you have people coming in and says, well, it's going to happen when, oh, no, it's not. Okay, because you have some structural issues that are causing this. All right? Okay, so there we are. So, all right. So Savage Liar says, yep, Patriots getting weaker. Cabrera says, you mean the New England cheaters. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Unknown Raider guy says, how everything we said is becoming a reality. Dean Willie says, Eric Young is right about something about Las Vegas supporters being delusional. Hey, you know what? I'll say one thing, though. And this is to put a positive spin on it. At least they're coming to the fact that you have Las Vegas supporters that are coming to my site to express their support for Las Vegas is a compliment to this space. Okay, they have identified Zenny62 on YouTube as the forum for debate about Las Vegas and with respect to the late Raiders. I thank you for that. You know, I thank you for that. Your views and opinion aside, I'm glad that you're here. So I do not discount what you say or anything or chase it away. Everybody has your opinion. But the big thing is that you have come to my channel to support to express your point of view or to hope that I recite your comment. Hey, that's not bad, you know. I'll take that. I'll take that. You know, especially since I need some investors. Hey, visitors are as good as investors, right? Cowboy Wrestlers, hasn't Vegas been suffering from low tourism for the last decade? No. It has had fits and starts, Cowboy Wrestler, but 2000, in fact, what you asked is actually a good question. 2017 was a record year for Las Vegas. A record. So, you know, what's that old saying? There's no place to go but down. All right? When I think of Vegas, I think of women's bodybuilding contests. Anyway, I do. I'm sorry, I do. One of my first trips to Vegas as an adult was to check out a women's bodybuilding contest. I think it was 2005. There was a woman I was interested in, and it didn't turn out. Otherwise, we would have gotten married. But whatever. That was before my CES days. Then I started going in 2009 for CES, and I never stopped. Ooh, that's a different Vegas. I love the tech Vegas better. Let me put it that way. The party Vegas is, you know, whatever, you know. But look, I have no desire to live in real life the movie Hangover. Let's put it that way. All right. But in Vegas, I have every desire to be wined and dined, taken out to steak dinners by people who are advancing their products. They want you, as the press guy, to write good things about it. So they're going to wine and dine you and take you out and all that sort of thing. That's what they do. They hey, say good things about our product. Say this, say that. And you say, oh, I'll try. Okay. But, wow. Dean Willie says, I like Vegas a lot. It's just that I don't think teams should move anymore. I agree with you. I love Vegas. I love Vegas. Cowboy Russia says, I've only been to Vegas once, and that was in '97 while I was still living in California. Dean Willie says, people get the impression I hate Vegas. I like it. I love Vegas. I still want to get Scott from, there's another Scott, from Vital Vegas. He's got a great blog called Vital Vegas on this channel. One day I'll do that. I think he is of the impression that people stop talking to him if he comes on my show, but you know, I'll straighten that out. Malcontent says, bad hotel visitor number since June or July. Yeah, it was been since June of last year. The 0.08% hotel tax revenue is failing. Yeah, it was too small. It's too small. All right, folks, it is 2:03. Oh, Miguel says, Sigel's 1941. Go and try it out. Is that a restaurant? Let me do a quick search for that. I think Miguel just gave us a Vegas tip, right? Hold on a second. Did you just give us a Vegas tip? Let's see here. And I believe that he did. This is what he did. Take a look, folks. This is Miguel's tip. This is Siegel's 1941. This is the Downtown Cafe at El Cortez Hotel and Casino. Let's look at the images real quick. Oh, this is very much this is old school, man. This is old school, see? So it's American Fare. Who's that? That's who's that guy? Is that Bugsy? This is old school. Look at that. That is Zydeco. This is old school. And let's see if we can get another shot of that. There. So he goes 1941 at the El Cortez. Is that Bugsy? Okay. Yeah, this is cool. You know what? A place like this has got to have great steaks. Oh, like I said, a place like this has got to have great steaks. Yummy. Oh my God, look at that. Oh, makes your mouth water. Oh, just need some cold ice water and red wine. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at this. Oh. Oh my Lord. Well, that could be a little bit of better cut of steak, but whatever. That's better. Baked potato. Boy, look at that. My gosh. My gosh. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. That's a big steak. All right. Thank you, Miguel. That's my kind of steak. That's my kind of place. Thank you. Yes. I like it. Oh, by the way, hey, you don't want steak, you want pasta? Take a look at this, all right? There's your pasta. Doesn't that look yummy? See, it goes 1941. Check it out, all right? Well, I gotta take a look at their hours. Okay, let me take a look at their hours real quick, all right? Let's go back. Since he was kind enough to give us such a great recommendation. See what the hours look like. Hours are 24 hours. Ooh. 600 Fremont Street, Las Vegas, named after Bugsy Siegel. The club, throwback eatery and bar for steaks and other American fare. Garlic bread, open 24 hours. I get you. So hey, you know what? Go out late night, leave someplace at 4 in the morning, head over there, have steak at 4 a.m. I like that. Hey, Unknown Raider guy, you've been there? Are you recommending the garlic bread? Oh, I'm so starving now. Ugh. And it's 2:06 in the morning. I gotta go to bed. But Unknown Raider guy, are you recommending the garlic bread? I'm just asking. Oh my gosh. Oh, you want a well done steak? Yeah. Unknown Raider guy hasn't been there yet. All right. So here's the thing. All right. Unknown Raider guy and Miguel Nunquist need to take each other out in Vegas. Unknown Raider guy says, I'm trying it soon, like tomorrow. Miguel Nunquist says, breakfast all day. All right, folks. I'm headed to bed. This has been a fun conversation. Again, everybody, thank you very much for making this the forum for conversation about the whole Vegas issue. Thank you very much. We'll go after it. Tomorrow night, special guest, former Oakland mayor and my boss, well, not currently, but I always call him boss, Elihu Harris is going to be on. He's going to talk about the Oakland mayor's race, you know, thoughts about, for those of you who may have not have heard it, thoughts about the Raider Vegas things. But we're going to talk about Oakland Raiders. Give us some, you know, background if you haven't heard it before. But more talking about the current Oakland, how it's changed in Oakland politics. Good night, everybody. Good night. 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 Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a great show, man. This has been great. Thank you. Thank you. I'm writing thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless the great United States of America. See ya. All right.